Alright, we're at Game 3 here of the April 14th Great Lakes Gaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Finals every Thursday. Gage on the left, Rashawn on the right. It is 1-1 even. So, close game for a final round, or final game of the final round. I believe Gage will go first here. You can see the opening hands. It is... Oh, hold on, let's start off with this first. Gage going to do the Ashuna just to make the monk. So Gage obviously has the Ashuna, that's the vessel, which is also in his hand Blackout, Ashuna, Adhara, and D-Barrier. You already seen him use here the vessel and the Ashuna. And you see Rashawn has the Droll. He also has Pranket's Place, Nibiru, Fusion Destiny, and I think it was another spell. It might have been either Pandemonium or Pranket's Pranks. I couldn't really tell. As for the side deck, by the way, Gage sided in Rivalry of Warlords, which is great against Prankets. And Rashawn, I know he sided in the Droll, but he had those in Game 2, so I didn't actually see his entire sideboard going into Game 2, so wasn't sure what was already in there and what was not in there. But you're seeing the Gage, you're seeing Gage do the Aurora Dawn play with a desk bot. This is a timed round, by the way, so it's 40 minutes, which is relevant. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I did already, but if you don't know, we do Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments every Thursday and Saturday. But this is from Thursday, which is our more competitive day. Round 4, the final round of the April 14th Thursday tournament. Finals, Sword Soul versus Prank Kids. Game 3 of round 4. I think that's all the information you need. Gage gonna make the Yahtzee, use the Yahtzee pop Aurora Dawn to summon a worm from his deck. He's under Droll, so I'm not sure that's gonna really affect the deck much. Yeah, people gathering around watching. You can use the Taya, banish a worm. I think it has to be a Sword Soul actually, but I'm not sure.
You can add this from your banish to your hand? Yeah, you can do that. You just can't add from the deck.
And he's gonna summon the token. That is a Sword Soul token, and then there's, I'm pretty sure the other one's an Aurora Dawn token. Or a Mecha Phantom Beast token, which is different. So he's gonna go for the Boxia.
It would normally shuffle cards you control. It also has a secondary effect like a pop a card and then monster born level 4. Okay.
Boxia is amazing. Does board wipe, but you can also destroy card to special summon one from the grave. I think Taya must send one.
Make a change mine with that other one? Yeah, so I put the shooter. I put the shooter here and I kept my hand in my hand and I switched it just so I can have one of each. Okay.
I think he just changed which one he sent. Then he's gonna use the I think that's the I keep being Ashuna and Adhara messed up, but I think that's Adhara, that's level 1, which banishes, and I think it adds one from your grave back to your hand, maybe? I'm not sure.
Declaration of who? Okay. Just so you think about adding it back?
And since he's adding it from the grave or banish, I think it's grave or banish, but I'm not sure. It won't be affected by Droll. I think he has Nibiru in his hand as well, because he was... Yeah, okay, I did say that. You showed me his hand there. He's going to make the Chao Fang with the Adhara and Boxia. So Chao Fang is nasty, so...
Can I chain to it?
He's going to try to chain. So this is an interesting interaction. So your opponent cannot activate, because of Chao Fang's effect, your opponent cannot activate whatever monster effects based off the, based off the worms. I think it's Yang Zings, but it might just be worms. Original effects, or original attributes. So basically he used the light. So Chao Fang says your opponent cannot activate light effects. So he tries to chain the Nibiru but I think they had a. It might not even be able to activate. I'm not sure if it happens when it hits the field or not. I think they resolve it as not being able to activate the Nibiru. And then Gage, he probably sets the blackout and the D barrier.
If a card on the field is destroyed, he can summon a wyvern from my deck. And then also, if he is destroyed, he searches my deck for a.
Chofeng's great in this deck. I love seeing the Yang Zings be useful. I think if he runs over, I think Chofeng has the effect that if he runs over a monster, he summons a worm that's the same attribute as the destroyed monster, and then when he leaves the field, he'll summon a tuner. A worm tuner, I think. So Rashawn is going to activate the Prankid's place, search the, I think that's the Dropsies. By the way, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I don't exactly know the exact wording on these texts of these cards, so I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
You can do it before, but not after it's summoned.
Just a disclaimer, I'm not 100% sure about anything. So he's going to normal summon the Dropsies, and he's going to link it away for the Meow Meow. With the Dimensional Barrier, I think maybe the best hit is probably the Fusion. Obviously, Prankids is actually mostly a Fusion deck, even though they have links are their links are more prominent, but they have some really good Fusion stuff. Plus, with the DPE, I assume that's going to be the go-to. He also has the Blackout, which I think is a pop. Sort of like, what's that dogma? Punishment.
There's no Earth.
So he's using the Fansies, which is going to send one. It's going to send a Prankid's spell trap. Might just be spell, I don't know. They don't even have a trap, I'm pretty sure. If they do, nobody plays it, because it's probably trash. That's my guess. I'm pretty sure they don't have one. Anyway, he's going to summon the Fire one, the Lampsies. The Doodle-Doo will search, I believe. Oh yeah, he has to send the one. Usually send the Pandemonium or whatever. Whatever it's called. I think it's a Pandemonium is a fusion spell. And then there's the Pranks. The Doodle-Doo searches the Pranks. He must not open up. He didn't open up any like rights or anything like that. Or Fateful or Enchantress, which is kind of unlucky. He's going to activate Pranks. He's going to use the Doodle-Doo to return those cards to his hand. That's the Fansies, and I didn't see the other one. I think it was Pandemonium. Then he's going to use the Pranks to discard, make a token. Okay, yeah, so I wasn't sure, but I had to read Chofeng again. It's actually the negate effect, or I guess the skill drain effect, basically only works for Yang Zing monsters, not just any worm monster. So he's gonna use Blackout. Sorry, it's getting a little loud. Okay, so he's gonna Blackout, and then Rashawn will chain the Pandemonium, and then Gage will chain the Dim Barrier. Pretty sure he called the fusions, so I think it just fizzles. The fusion spell fizzles. So yeah, Chofeng is only the Yang Zing attributes that get that it negates, or doesn't negate it, just can't activate it. But I believe everything else is just generic worm stuff. Yes, it is. Okay. It's kind of unfortunate if you play the Prank Kids. I think this deck is really only good if you have the adventure stuff. I mean, obviously the deck is still good. It was meta for a while, but I think it's really at its best if you have the adventure stuff. Of course, it still works pretty well without it. It is kind of hard with just the one Meow Meow. And he's going to activate the Pranks here, which is going to recycle his stuff. Kind of why it's pointless that Meow Meow's at 1, because you just recycle it. I think he just drew evenly there off the top. Gage going to use the Vishuda to special summon and make the monk. And he's got a bunch of effects in his grave. He's got the water one, he's got the Adhara. The Vishuda, I think, is just a bounce. He's even got the Ashuna too. So he's going to banish the Ashuna, which is going to summon out the Vishuda, which is the one with the big sword. He's got like 25 attack, I think, 26 maybe. Maybe that's his defense, actually, I don't know. I always thought Vishuda was the coolest one. I don't know if Gage runs the Shaman or anything. I think the Shaman is great. The card's insane. I think that's the Adhara. Banish Adhara, add back the Moyi. Gonna normal summon, that's Ash Blossom.
May I read Moyi since you added your hand?
He's asking to read the Moyi. Rashawn has the Nibiru in his hand. I don't know what summon he's at. He might be at the 4th summon, I think. Maybe it's the 5th, because he's going to do Nibiru here. He's got to summon 1, then make the monk. That'd be the 2nd. And then the Vishuda would be the...
2, 3, 4, and then you demon summon.
Yeah, I was going to say, it should only be 4. Because he special summoned, that's 1. Then made the monk, that's 2. Then Vishuda, that's 3. Then Ash, that's 4. So, I mean, now he's kind of... I mean, I don't know. He's gonna... Okay, he's just gonna make the Baron there. He's gonna attempt to use the Nib. Gonna get negated. I'm not sure what his other card is in his hand. It looks like evenly in Rashawn's hand. I think he's gonna go battle and attack for 4. He has the pop of the Baron. I think if the prank is placed, the field spell, all it does is just activate and search. I don't think it does anything special. I think the prank is pranks is the better hit, because that just recycles all their stuff and summons out the token and all that. Yeah. Baron will pop the pranks. Just draw. What do you draw there? I mean, he's got evenly. If he can just bait out the Baron. Oh, he tapped like the right. Oh, oof. That's nice. Right. It's not gonna. I mean, he's gonna have to interact with it here, with the Baron at some point. Otherwise, the evenly is just gonna dump it, and the prank kids will just go uphill fast.
Draco back, equip to token.
But the Tenyi deck is pretty resistant. So he's just gonna Draco back, bounce back the Baron.
Activate place.
And he's gonna activate the place, get the search the fansies.
Activate right. Discarding. And special.
Special summon out the Griffin Rider.
All summon. Make 1.
And just going to do the Meow Meow stuff here.
Meow meow.
There goes the Meow Meow. Fansies comes out. Gonna send.
Field spell, special summon right now. What's the life points at right now?
I'm at 8 here.
Special summon on out.
Time is very important here. I think time is ticking down is why he's playing so fast. Rashawn is at 5 to Gage is 8.
Gain 1,000.
But he's gonna gain 1,000 here. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know what the time is at, but I know it's very close to the 40-minute end.
Chain links. 1, 2.
So he's gonna get the doodle doo and the dropsies.
Never mind, no target for 2, just 1.
This equal target for 2?
Yeah, there's no target for that, so it's just chain link 1.
And he normally just summons one, right?
No, he normally adds 1, but it has to be a spell. And I nailed on with fansies, so I gotta watch that next time I play this.
So he milled everything already, so he doesn't have any targets for doodle doo. I think he said 3 minutes. So he might just try to burn him out, but
Effect doodle.
we'll see.
Adding back both cranks,
Use the doodle
fancies.
to add back the pranks and the fansies.
Activating cranks.
Activate the pranks.
Discard that.
And use the pranks effect to get the token.
Token, link 2 with the token.
He's gonna link it away immediately
Bow wow.
for the bark, bow wow bark.
Summon another kid.
The Lampsies is gonna burn for 5. So it's 75 to 6. Still in favor of Gage by 15.
Then we go.
But he can just enter battle.
What's your life points?
I'm at 75, you're at 60.
I think he said 4 minutes, so there's still time. Rashawn wants to bust out the calculator to do the math. I mean, he's got 2 with the Griffin, right? And then
And
he is maybe thinking about the access code.
500. So do link 3.
Link 3 into the unicorn. And then he could just use the unicorn and the Roxy's for the access code. He doesn't have a hand for the effect, though, of the unicorn. But it doesn't really matter since he's got the access code.
Code Talker, he gains 3k.
So I'll go up to
Pop.
53 plus the 2k, so 70. Actually, that won't be enough for game.
It'll just summon this back out and destroy your card. And you take damage equal to its attack.
So he's going to use the water to prevent the
See
destruction.
this card?
It's after it. Yeah, because I can imperm you after you use it.
Or it's not going to prevent the destruction, it's just going to bring it back.
You actually do not take the effect damage.
But yeah, he won't take the effect damage, but it will destroy the access code. And he'll bring out the monk. Yeah, I don't know. I know some of the other Tenyis do, but I don't really know that one does that well. I think people just play one of it.
Benched.
Yeah, he is benched. Your guy is.
So we'll get rid of the access code. Yeah, that's actually a big deal. Because he's only going to be able to do 1,000. Oh, he says the Fateful Adventure.
Because I used it to place it, but I never used it to search. He was already in there.
So he's going to get the Enchantress. They got to be running down on the clock. It's got to be
Discard.
close to.
Actually, this is still a turn. I think.
There's a minute left.
So I just enter battle. Swing.
Oh boy, he's intense. He's only going to take 1,000 off that, so it's 65 to 6.
And face effect of points. 1, 2.
Yeah, I think just because of the time.
And go ahead.
He draws. I think he drew in perm. He has the Moyi. I'm honestly just set. He could have did more, I think. Oh wait, no, he couldn't use the imperm on the Griffin because it just bounces itself, right? So as a cost, or it doesn't bounce itself; it just shuffles itself. So both players playing fast. Don't want to go into time. That's no fun. Summon out the Brave token. That's at 2k.
Battle phase. Swing. Swing for 2k.
Hit him with 2k. That's going to be basically game. Gage is going to go down to 445.
It's an Ash.
2.
I wasn't gonna time stall you.
And yeah, he said he's not going to time stall him, so yeah,
I drew in 2 hand
he's just going to win in time. The Prank Kid's
Yep. Going in.
getting it. That was a close game. Rashawn takes that at the very end with the Brave token. Good games.